It's Coach Jackson, and I'm here with one of my all-star clients. His name is Taras. I hope I got that right. And we're going to walk through his incredible transformation story. Now, I don't want to steal any of his thunder, so I'll let him do the talking. But welcome, and thank you so much for being here. Why don't we jump right in, and why don't you tell me where were you at kind of physically, mentally, and even emotionally before we started working together?
So I was about 165 pounds, 26% body fat. I did some DEXA scan, so that's an accurate measurement. And I was 40 years old, just turned 40, and I was about to become a father. And I wasn't happy with my shape, so I decided to, take my home workouts to the next level.
Awesome. So you were kind of in a bad place. You were struggling, and you were almost 40 years old. Now, was that like a milestone for you? Like, why was all of a sudden that the time that you felt like you wanted to get into shape?
Well, you know how the saying goes, after 40, it's downhill. So I just wanted to make up for lost time.
And how did you kind of feel just mentally, physically, emotionally? Like, how was your energy? Like, how was your confidence? All those kind of other markers that we really don't think about outside of just the physical body.
Well, body image, I obviously wasn't entirely proud of how I looked. I felt I could do better and be in a better place physically.
What was the goal that you wanted to achieve?
Obviously, to get down to a good body fat percentage, single digits was my goal. See six-pack abs. I've never seen my abs in my life, apart from when I was a teenager. I definitely wanted to see my abs again.
That's a pretty awesome goal, and it's one I hear very frequently. But what is it about the six pack or having abs and single digit body fat that was so attractive to you that was like, yes, that's the ultimate marker of success for me?
I guess the media's a bit to blame for that. You see movie stars, they're all ripped. You open up a magazine, every guy in there is ripped, and seems to be the standard body image that everybody is looking for. So perhaps I was influenced that way.
You're right. It definitely appears that if you have abs, all of a sudden that just means you're healthy and you're awesome and you're confident just because those abs are showing. Outside of that, what did you feel that was holding you back or stopping you from getting there, at least on your own?
As I mentioned earlier, I have the luxury of having a home gym. And I guess my training was inconsistent. I wasn't pushing myself. My diet was erratic. It was all over the place. I wasn't, very well educated on diet plans and what to eat, what not to eat, how to eat overall. And I guess that's where it was for me.
Got it. So you weren't really pushing yourself that hard. You didn't feel like the workouts were challenging enough. Probably not really sure how to set those up properly. And then really from a diet perspective, you just really didn't know what to do, right?
That's right. Yeah.
What was that turning point that was there a moment that you can remember or something that happened to you or like you just woke up one day and looked in the mirror and said, that's it. I'm making that change. I'm going to go find somebody that's going to help me with that. Like, what was that like for you?
I think it was when I turned 40 and shortly after my wife announced that she's pregnant. And I said to myself that, okay, it's time I have 9 months where I can, get this in before baby comes. And then hopefully I only have to maintain after that. But you know what? It's become kind of a lifestyle for me. Now baby is here. She's very healthy and I love her to bits, but I still wake up extra early to hit the gym because that's what allows me to feel better overall, energy-wise, mental focus, so much accomplished in my mornings. I've also taken on the intermittent fasting, plan into my life, so that allows for more time in the morning, more productivity, and
That's awesome. So as you're approaching 40, that number comes, then your wife tells you, we're having a baby. and it's like overdrive, let's turn it on and let's get this in because I want to make sure that I'm going to be set up for success when the kid comes. And for most people, that turns into the point where they usually fall off the wagon. So you wanted to make sure you were ready for that and set up for success is what it sounds like.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. And the fact that you've been able to maintain it, and I remember in the early days, it was hard, but I mean, you were still staying on track and you were still sticking with it. You were still getting able to get the workouts in. You were still, doing your best, but still able to manage a pretty good diet as well. My guess is that it's probably just because of all the benefits that you mentioned, the energy, confidence, all those great things that were happening and how you felt. It's like, why would I want to stop, right?
Exactly. What I really like is the fact that you keep it fresh. You change the programs up from month to month, and I'm accountable to you because you put in your time and effort into showing me the path, and then I have to do my part. And I feel like it's an obligation, not just to myself, but to you.
Now, before we get to the amazing transformation and before we drop that bomb on everyone, why don't you tell me what were some of the challenges that you sort of experienced as you were going through that? So you're trying to go from where you were at to single digit body fat and six-pack abs. I'm sure it wasn't all sunshine and roses. Like, what were some of the challenges you faced along that journey?
The first 4 months or something like that, 3 months, whatever it was, eating at a calorie deficit, working, manual labor, maintaining that sparse diet. It wasn't easy. I was a little grumpy at times, but I was getting results and that was my motivation. So it had its challenges, but it also had its trade-off.
Awesome. So was it just the trade-off that you focused on and the long-term benefits that made you able to sort of deal with that? Or were there other things that you used in order to overcome some of those challenges with being hungry or feeling a little grumpy at times?
So I was focused more on the end goal. I gave myself an allotted amount of time, and I said, okay, I'm going to see what happens in this time frame. That's what helped me get through any, dips in the program. I just focused on my end goal. And, as that end goal or time frame came closer, my results are also matched. So it was easy to do, relatively speaking.
So tell me, was it worth it?
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah, I recommend it to everybody.
Now, why don't you drop the bomb on everybody of what were your results?
So I started around 26% body fat, according to the DEXA scan, and dropped down to 6% body fat. That's my lowest. So I'm hovering around there right now and feeling great.
And how about the six-pack abs?
How about them? They look fantastic. My wife says I'm hard like steel. So she loves it. Benefits for everybody.
So you achieved your goal. You went from 26% body fat all the way down to 6% body fat, dropping unbelievable and astounding 20% body fat. I mean, that's like becoming a completely different person.
Essentially, yeah.
Awesome. And how about your muscle mass along the way? Did you see an increase in that?
Yeah, lean body mass. I'm ripped, and my muscles are solid, like they're rock hard. So feels good.
Yeah, I've seen the photos. You definitely look like you could be starring in the next Marvel movie, or you should be like the next Captain America. I mean, the photos look unbelievable. Your transformation has been incredible. Working with you has really been an honor for me, just to see you put in the dedication, the hard work, the discipline, and constantly having that focus on your end goal. It's been just really inspirational for me to watch you along the entire time we've worked together. So thank you so much for putting in the hard work and for every single sacrifice that you made to get it. I'm really glad it was worth it.
My pleasure. I appreciate your coaching for sure.
Now, if there's somebody out there that's kind of wondering, man, this guy, he's able to do it, but I'm not that disciplined, or maybe I'm not as smart, or whatever. If they're doubting themselves and thinking that maybe they can't do it for whatever reason, what would you say to that person out there who's sitting on the fence?
If I can do it, anybody can do it. And once you get to the table, you'll get motivated. And once you start seeing your results, there'll be further motivation, and you'll feel great, you'll look great, and it'll translate in all areas of your life.
100% I agree with you. And that's one of the big myths I think that people carry with them, is that they need to feel motivated in order to take action and get the results. But pretty much the opposite is true, is from what you're saying, which is take action and do something, and then you'll get motivated. And then as you get results, you'll get even more motivated, and that snowball will just start to build.
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
Great. Any last words about either your experience with me or the program to anybody out there?
Again, you keep it fresh. You keep, the program changes month to month. So you don't kind of stall out and lose interest. So you're engaged all the time. You lay out, the macros and calories and your protein, fat, carb intake, all that kind of stuff, which makes it easier to adhere to this program. And anytime I called or texted, you were there with a reply, or you answered your phone, you called me back. So you're there for your clients. I appreciate it. And, I recommend anybody who's on the fence to just make a leap of faith here.
Tadas, thank you so much. I do appreciate you and your hard work. And you are definitely in the Action Jackson Fitness Hall of Fame.
Appreciate it. Cheers.